Omar Najia, Global Head of Derivatives at BB Energy. Omar, have we finally broken the grip of $75 Brent, and now this is the upward move you've been waiting for?
I think so. It's if you look back to, we've been in a downtrend since March 2022. And you can look at the price back in March 2022, 130 something, over 135. And then if you draw a line straight down, you can see it's tested it 3 times. And on Friday was the fourth. And on Friday, when it breaks it with volume to the upside. So however you want to think about this market, I think if we continue to kind of hold and move sideways to up, then I think there'll be a lot of pressure for people to start covering. So this is what I was talking about before. So originally people were saying, look at China is not recovering. Russia is I don't know what, and the economy is this. So all that is rational, and markets don't work like that. They don't work on 1 + 1 = 2. So basically, what they work on is, fear and greed. So it's broken that line. And all of a sudden, everybody's nervous, and they'll be told, their back officers will be told, close your position now. I don't care what you think. Do it now. Buy, and the market will go up. So that's what I think is going to happen. So I'm looking for this, breakout to the upside for whatever reason, irrational, panic, you name it. But I think upside beckons here. I think it's tried very hard to break down. It hasn't managed to, and I think the upside beckons, rationally or irrationally.
Omar, given the sort of macro numbers here, and you've been calling this upward move for a while now, whether rational or irrational, as you say, but what gives it momentum, you think, to sort of break through the 80 and sort of test other highs?
No, I think basically it's the fact that it's unexpected, right? So if you go back a couple of weeks and there was like a survey, and like 87% or whatever it was said lower, blah, 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 blah. So that has to now change. So basically there comes so people will be holding still. They'll look at Friday and say, no, actually not much has changed. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer and see. But if basically that wait come this week and price doesn't start dipping or falling heavily, they're all going to start buying no matter what. So I think that's what's going to basically be the impetus to the upside. The big question is this the low? So is the Brent low that we saw at $70, is that the low for a long way time to come, or basically are we going to challenge that at some point in the future? That I don't know, but I think right now market will move higher. But I think WTI gets to like 80 something, 85, 83, something like that.
Welcome your thoughts. Besides getting a very good bronze suntan, which I know you like to do in the summertime, what will you be watching as you hopefully take a little bit of some R&R?
So basically, what I'm thinking about is how can you have that low basically on crude, and basically that says that over time you see new all-time highs, $70 it, and here we go to the upside. That's one. How can you have at the same time an equity market which is basically looks increasingly toppy, okay? And how at the same time can you have something, a risk asset, the risk asset, which is Bitcoin, look to start trending strongly to the upside, especially with that BlackRock stuff and all this kind of stuff, right? And how can you basically make all these things join up? Because usually if you have a recession, then oil dips. And if you have a recession, then Bitcoin dips. So how is it that 2 out of the 3 are going one way, looking forwards, and equities are going the other way? And the answer is, I don't know. I have no idea. But I was thinking, what about this, BRICS?
Well, maybe it's the point that Richard made, Omar, that there's just so much quantitative easing from the last decade, the last 3 or 4 years, that the liquidity, as you said, irrational or rational, this liquidity has to find a home,
Yeah.
and it's inevitably rising all boats.
Yeah, but again, if interest rates go to 6%, 6.5%, 8%, whatever it is, then why would anybody be buying an Apple over putting your money in treasuries? I don't understand that. One is risk, one is no risk. Bitcoin is risk, but Bitcoin is bid. So what happens basically, for the first time in history, you start to see the US dollar not collapse, but weaken substantially. What if this new BRICS currency comes along, gold backed, blah, 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 blah. And for the first time, we see basically a recession in the States, which basically starts to bring the stock market down. But then the price at which stocks are priced, be it the US dollar, becomes weak relative to other stuff. So Apple could be trading, let's say it's trading at 100, can be trading at 150.
Apple, you mean Apple stock?
Apple stock, yeah. So instead of right now, let's say it's trading at 100, it trades at 150. But in real terms, that's because of dollar weakness. Then you can see oil, boom to the upside, take out those all-time highs, 150, 200, whatever it is, and you can see Bitcoin do the same thing. So anyway, it's interesting, but I don't know.
In the immediate term over the summer, what would be your sort of one kind of, you think Bitcoin is the one to watch that gives you the risk on appetite is still solid?
I mean, my personal point of view is by the end of September, something like this, we're going to see the price of Bitcoin, get close to 50,000. I think basically, oil, WTI will get to like 85. There's a lot of liquidity in the market. All this stuff that they're doing on interest rates is not having an effect. So they got to drain more and more and more. And the stock markets, the problem with the stock markets is that the S&P, NASDAQ, all the rest of it, that move up is only by like 7 or 8 companies. You take them out, like the Meta, the Amazon, the Tesla as well. You take them out, then the market is not doing well at all. People are not making money on it. So
the average PE is quite expensive at 19 on the S&P 500. So it's certainly solid.
Yeah,
Richard,
and some are trading at multiples of that. Some are trading at multiples of that.